Hujambo mtazamaji wa Mutembei TV, natumai ubuheri wa afya na karibu. It is Politics Hour ambapo I feel most honored kuzungumza naye President wa Jakaranda, bunge la mwananchi. Natumai uko salama na karibu.
Asante sana.
I think this is the second time ambao tunakutana na wewe, sivyo?
Sure, this is the second time.
Na kuna wale ambao wanakutazama for the first time. So just humbly requesting you just introduce yourself.
Thank you so much. By name Nicholas Juma Okech Opio, the President bunge la mwananchi Jakaranda. Yes.
Right. Na unajua president anafaa kutembea na the deputy president. So where is your deputy president? Nataka nilikuwa nataka kuona vile umeingia kwenye interview hata simama hapo kando.
I must assure you that one day that will happen. But we were elected to serve wanabunge wa Jakaranda. So we are moving up and down to ensure that we deliver, and that is why I'm not with him here today. But one day we will come together.
It's just okay. And wanasema kwamba ukiwa the president, you have to know your deputy president.
Sure.
Sinivyo. You have, unafaa tu mweka hapa kwenye palmu yako ya mkono. Lazima ujue anakaa hivi, yeye anataka hivi, anafanya hii na hii na hii. So kindly, can you just describe your deputy president?
A very nice question. And by the way, those are the things I considered before picking on him as my deputy. I was looking for someone who would help me deliver to bunge la mwananchi Jakaranda. So by character, he's a gentleman.
Wow.
Who stands by truth, and he is not easily moved. Someone who, if he is convinced about something right, he'll make sure that he has seen it to the end. And I'm always looking for someone who is not into corruption. Like I told you last time, corruption and me, we don't go the same way. So probably it is one of the things that I looked into before picking Wycliffe Atema as my deputy. He is someone who has been in that bunge for more than 2 years, and not even a single individual would point a finger at him about corruption issues. About being a lawyer. So many people talking of him being a lawyer, but he is one who is not tribalistic. I was looking for a leader. As much as diversity is there, and we need to embrace that diversity, I was looking for someone who is, yes, not my tribe, but can reason beyond tribal line and give service to wananchi wa Jakaranda. That is the kind of person I have for a deputy. Yes.
Wow. Then that is so great. So tukiingia kwenye maisha yako ya kibinafsi, ulianza vipi mambo na politics? Kutoka ukiwa mdogo, nataka tu tueleze tu kidogo tu vile how you grew up, vile uliingia mambo na politics.
Siasa hasa nilianza nikiwa mdogo, huenda nilianza nikiwa kwa tumbo ya mama. Manake they used to tell me that I would contradict almost everything. I was not that small boy whom you would just tell something and do it the way it is told. I had to question and know exactly why I'm doing that. But I started feeling like I'm into politics when I was in high school. I got privileged to go to a high school whereby we were choosing our own leaders. I showed an interest, and actually I managed to be a head boy. Elected, not appointed. It also showed up at the university. You find most of the people who went to the same university with me, they'll tell you that I'm a politician, simply because how I interacted with the people, how I handle my things, and I also had an interest in being the student chair in third year. And it's now manifesting at a higher level in national politics. Yes.
Alright. Na wakati ulikuwa bado unaendelea kuwa Did they ever tell you that politics is a dirty game and you believed it is not a dirty game?
I believe that politics is dirty for someone who is already dirty. Personally, my politics are not dirty. But the reason as to why people call it a dirty game is the things that most politicians do in it. A point gets where a politician is willing to kill just to be in a position. But those are things that I really don't believe in. Politics and leadership, they should go hand in hand. And leadership, unless you're trying to tell me that leadership is also a dirty game, I would accept that politics is a dirty game, because leadership and politics, it is one at the same time. So it is not, according to me.
All right. And you know, wakati ulikuwa bado unaendelea kuwa again,
Yes.
Now umetuambia kwamba ulikuwa head boy.
Yes.
But ukaingia university bado ukakuwa elected, not appointed. You were elected.
Yes.
So in that time limit, for you being engaging in politics, have you never any certain time kuwa engaged in any scandal for you to be elected?
I really don't know what you mean by scandal, because in politics there are things people call scandal, because most people are out to tarnish your name in politics, and they package it to sound like that is a scandal. But a genuine scandal for me is a no. Yes, and I doubt if I will ever be in a scandal in politics.
Now umetuambia kwamba you are the president of Jacaranda, bunge la mwananchi. So why did you have to choose Jacaranda? Na kuna bunge ambazo ni mingi tena sana. So why did you choose Jacaranda?
There are so many reasons behind that, and by the way, it should be known that before I became a member of Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda, I was a member of Bunge la Mwananchi Jivanji. But I like where people are organized. I tried to evaluate in terms of organization between several Bunge la Mwananchis around Nairobi. But I came to realize that Jacaranda is one of the most organized Bunge la Wananchi in Kenya.
Are you sure?
Yes, I never speak lies, and I also don't speak what I don't know.
But you know, if it was to be organized,
yes,
pale wakati wa election, hakungekuwa na vita na mambo na ma.
Like I told you before, in politics, people have different perceptions. There are people who just believe that in politics there must be war. And they never miss, even in Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda. So that small fraction of people who believe in retrogressive behaviors in politics, there are few in Jacaranda, and they manifested, or rather their characters were manifested in this election that is gone. So that alone should not make us conclude that Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda is not organized. But at the same time, being a resident of Lower Savannah, Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda is within the region I live. So I saw it wise that this leadership, I need to start it from home, where I call home now. So that is one of the reasons as to why I chose Jacaranda over other bunges. Yes.
Okay, and you know, as the president, you have to give tour to several bunges. So have you done so?
One thing that I need to make clear is that I'm President Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda. It would not make sense for me to walk around before I realize one or two successes in Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda. But that statement is not to mean that I've locked out walking around bunges.
That is what I wanted to ask you.
And also, like I told you, people should be coming to Jacaranda to see how organized bunge can be. So me going to other bunges, perhaps I'll be moving around telling them on how to organize themselves. not copying how they are organized, because I told you that it is Jacaranda where we are organized. But very soon, after realizing some development agendas in Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda, that is after actually delivering to the people, we'll consider moving around. But at the moment, it's not a priority. Yeah.
Okay. And how many terms will you lead?
I also need to make it clear that Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda is working on its constitution. And in a fortnight, we are going to have a constitution in place. It is the constitution that will guide us in if there is term limit or not. So I really don't want to talk about how many terms will I be in office at the moment, because we still don't know what the constitution will have for us. But at the same time, I want to make it clear that I will serve this term. And my service will tell whether I can be in for another term. Yes.
And so far, kwa huu muda mchache ambao umeingia and you have just led, umefanya nini ambacho unaweza sema sasa hivi hata wakisema kwamba hatutaki the president right now, tunataka mtu mwingine? Ni kitu kipi ambacho umekifanya sasa hivi ambacho unaweza simama just firmly and say I have done this and this to my people of Jacaranda?
Several things. I will talk of majorly two. An initiative of coming up with the constitution is something that my office came up with. Wow. And there is no organization that will be led properly without a constitution, rule of law. So that is the first thing that perhaps I may say I've achieved as the president. Apart from that, I realized that there is a lot that we need to do in Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda. And we could not do it as me, the speaker, deputy president, clerks, and the coordinator. So we identified the areas that we consider thematic to Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda and its growth, and came up with a total of 9 ministries. In these ministries, they are already filled by the cabinet secretaries. So that is another move that we have already achieved. And last Sunday, we unveiled the whole office. And in Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda today, if you go, they'll tell you they have CSs. And that is a success that I can talk of at the moment. And thirdly, last time I was here, I told you that there is a fraction that was feeling like they are locked out. Sure. At the moment, as we are speaking, they're already coming back. And they are already getting to terms that there is new leadership. And that is, I think, one of the big achievements that I've made in that short period of time.
Na kuna yale masaibu ambayo unayapitia kama president, haswa leading different types of people ambao wametoka different types of tribes. Ni challenge ipi ambayo unapitia sasa hivi?
The challenges we have in Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda, they are not tribal. The members of Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda, they are people who have come to terms to different tribes in Kenya. And we embrace one another as a brother and a sister. But challenges are there because you realize in leadership and actually realizing success, finance is a matter that must be considered. And you realize that we are in very harsh economic times. So getting the finances, one major challenge that we have at the moment is the financial challenge. And that is why we are moving up and down, trying to bring people on board to actually see on ways of meeting the challenges that we have that are financial. And also it's reminding me to make an appeal to any willing Kenyan who is feeling like having a walk with us to realize our dreams of making Bunge la Mwananchi a center of excellence, not only in politics, but also in economic activities that grow our people. we welcome each and every support in whatever kind to bunge la mwananchi Jacaranda. That is the challenge.
All right, so but natumai that the challenge will just be solved.
Sure.
Sindio. Now we just winding up. You know you have the deputy president. Na watu wawili unapata kwamba unapata tu hata siku moja au siku mbili unapata kwamba mmekosana. So have you ever collided with your deputy president?
I must be very specific about this. We have never clashed in any way. But one thing I believe in, whenever there is a clash, it is a move towards getting that stability. We disagree to agree. But like I described, my deputy is someone who stands for the truth. And I described myself last time that I stand for the truth. And the moment we are two gentlemen thinking in the same direction, I doubt if it will be anything to go by. Yes.
Alright, asante kupatia tu hii mic utashika. Alafu kuna maswali ambayo atatoka pale nyuma ambapo atakuuliza tu na utajibu. Aha.
Ni sawa.
Alright, President, next week Mutembei TV will be going to Migori.
Yes.
What do I tell Migori?
That is a very nice question. One thing that I would want the Migori bunge to know is that bunge la mwananchi Jacaranda is open for anyone. Whenever they are in town, they are free to visit us. And we are also open to activities that can incorporate the two bunges so that we actually realize a movement that is envisaging a growth both in Nairobi and Migori County. And I also must make it clear that I don't know from which source, but their chairman has actually sent me a message on WhatsApp. He is a gentleman from his talk, and we are willing to partner and work together to realize what we may call at the moment a movement to realize a smart government ahead. Yes.
So, Mr. President, now that the economy is tainted and the systems are corrupt, what will you tell the President, William RUTO, about the GMO?
The GMO. A good question. GMO is actually a death warrant to Kenyans. And truth must be told. Politics out of this. William Samoei Ruto, who is the sitting president of Kenya, in Kibaki's government, he opposed GMO. Today he's telling us that GMO is good. We would want him to come clear and tell us why was he opposing GMO then? And what has changed in GMO so that today is pro-GMO. And one thing we know, we are going through hard times, that is financial hard times. But it seems like William Samoei Ruto is desperate to prove to Kenyans that he can actually deliver. We don't have that rush. The situation we are in at the moment is actually manageable if he is willing to do the right thing of engaging the right people. The shortage of food we have, we can accommodate that without GMO. And maybe I need to tell you that in Kenya, the arable land is 28% of the total land in Kenya. The highest that has ever been under production in Kenya is 12%. So the question is, why can't the government make use of the remaining 16%? To realize actually a double of the food we are producing instead of going for GMO from United States of America. But it is an urgent issue and it requires urgent solutions because as we are speaking, there is already GMO in Kenya. So one thing that must be done is that they must categorically differentiate between the GMO and the indigenous food that we have. So that when I go to the market, I can tell that these are GMO products and these are the indigenous product that we have. so that I make a wise choice. Otherwise, and I always speak this soft, but I mean my words. We are going to mobilize people, and we are going to go to the street, and it is not going to be like business as usual. It's going to be pressure to turn down this government. That is what I can respond to, or rather give as a response to the question.
But yesterday,
yes,
in parliament, walikuwa na mkutano pale.
Yes.
And some MPs were saying that GMO food, it is suit for us Kenyans. Na kusema kwamba scientifically already wamefanya utafiti na wakisema kwamba the GMO food iko sawa, haina any tatizo.
That is maybe, most of our MPs, they are people who lack knowledge. Truth be told, anyone talking of GMO, if maybe virtually you go to US, the source of this GMO we are talking about, and I said virtually because I've never been to United States of America, but have information of what is happening there. In their supermarkets, these things are demarcated, like you'll clearly see what GMO products are, not mixed by the indigenous products. And that is the first move to show you that GMO products are not that healthy. And maybe our MPs need to do just a little research. Just online, you Google GMO and the side effects. GMO is something that alters the genes of these organisms that they use in manufacturing them. And one effect is that the moment these genes are altered, they have a capacity to interfere with our genes. At the same time, hormonal balance of our bodies can be interfered with by this GMO. Just those two examples, do they still stand a chance to tell us that by research, GMO is good? And if it is good, like they are saying, why can't, you'll realize that this GMO coming to Kenya, it is the hustler, in quotes, who are going to use it. Why is it that they, our MPs and leaders, will be going for the indigenous ones, but not GMO if it is okay?
So, Mr. President,
yes.
It's come to our attention that the president's daughter is moving from one county to the other.
Yes.
Could there be something cooking?
Probably in Kenya, at my lowest moment to say that any leader getting into power has a plan of how succession will be taking place. And they make it clear such that it is their family coming into power. So it is very clear to say that William Ruto has a plan with her daughter, with these moves. At the same time, I'm feeling like our resources, the taxpayers' money is being misused somewhere. Because this lady is not moving around with her own pocket money or with with the father's pocket money, but our taxpayers' money. So what is cooking is taking this economy even down and more down to the lowest of its points by misappropriations of the funds. Yes.
Okay, my last question. Some few days ago, your deputy president was boxed. In your own opinion, do you think he could be a violent man or smooth? And how is he going to tackle the hecklers?
I need to say that in our leadership, when we rolled out the cabinet, we also came up with strict measures on curbing the hecklers. In that house today, you'll realize that we have sergeant at arms. And sergeant at arms are there to ensure that there is that peace in the house. But to respond to the main question you have about my deputy, like I told you, we stand by our words. And we can go an extra mile to realize what we believe in. But that is not to mean that we believe in war. I will say that we are ready for peace, but more ready for war if war will make Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda move a step ahead in terms of development. Yes.
Okay, I've forgotten something. Could Gaucho be a threat to you?
Gaucho is a nobody to me, and a nobody can never be a threat. And if you want to realize this, organize for a debate between me and Gaucho. Bring us here on agendas, and you'll see the answer for yourself. As a matter of fact, I don't think if there is any agenda we can discuss with the Gaucho, because he is that man who believes in handouts, going to politicians, taking money here and there, duping the Bunge la Mwananchi Jivanji, and that is something that I cannot do. So I cannot take Gaucho as a threat. And like I told you, I'm ready for peace, but more ready for war. So in any case, Gaucho will bring his hands to destabilize Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda. He will have me to contest, or rather to face off, and it will not be an easy war. Hand for hand, brains for brains, though I doubt if he has brains to contest me, but I'm equally having hands to contest him. Yes.
Just a few days he came at Jacaranda.
Yes.
Were you aware?
I got an information after his departure, and how I wish I was there, so that what I'm speaking here today is actually seen in action. But all the same, members of Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda, today they already have a conclusion that Bunge la Mwananchi Jacaranda is independent. Like I told you last time, it is an amorphous group, and we are not answerable to any organization somewhere, any political affiliation, any Bunge la Mwananchi. And therefore, this Gaucho purporting to be Bunge la Mwananchi president nationwide, maybe one day we need to meet, and he will have a battle explaining to me how he is the president. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'm just saying that things are getting tough. So just zungumza na president akiwa hasira. So we just have to wind all this till we meet next time. It has been so great, and thank you so much for joining us Mutembei TV. And karibu tena sana, always you welcomed.
Thank you.
Alafu yo battle yako na yake, I think we should have it direct, sindio? Soon.
And I appreciate you having me here, and I'm always open to such a fruitful debate. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for watching, and always come to Mutembei TV for more videos.
Ndugu yangu, kwani hizi app za loans natakaje ndio wanipe loan?
Sasa nikuulize ndugu yangu, unataka kufanya nini yodo?
Nataka ku expand business, nitaweka gari nyingine.
Sasa bro, acha nikueleze. Kuna app inaitwa VIP. Unaona sasa, ukiwa na hii app, ni app yenye inakusaidia kumanage busy yako. Sasa wewe kama msee wa taxi, ukimanage transactions zako through VIP for the next 3 months, unaweza get access to loan. Na pia kulingana na design yenye unakopa na unalipa hiyo loan, wanaweza kupatia pia access to a better handsome amount ya loan. Unanipata ndugu yangu?
Nakupata. Hiyo kwanza iko very fine.
Kabisa. Sasa download VIP leo na expand busy yako in the next 3 months, au sio?
Kabisa bana, hata niweke sahi.